Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today, we will be doing a recap of a computer-animated action film called Rock Dog from 2016. The movie opens up with an elder yak named Fleetwood, who is talking about a place where sheep live, and that place is called Snow Mountain. The yak says that the place is guarded by a dog named Comp. While he protects the sheep always just play music and have fun. But one day some wolves attack the village, and because the sheep are always playing around, wolves were attempting to eat them. But Kampa comes there and he starts to fight the wolves. By using his secret technique, known as Mastiff Paw, he emerges victorious in the fight. After their defeat, the wolves run away from the village, and Kampa comes up with a plan. He forms an army of sheep disguised as dogs to scare the wolves. Meanwhile, he also starts to train his son Bodhi, so that in the future if wolves attack the village again, Bodhi will be able to defend the village. Kampa also realizes that the music was nothing more than a distraction, so he takes his sons and other sheep instruments away. Some years later, Bodhi was playing with confiscated instruments with the help of a stick. At that time, Fleetwood tells Bodhi that he needed to be somewhere. Bodhi remembers and he runs out. While passing through the town, he gathers some sheep and they all go to a building. In front of the building, Kampa along with other dogs was standing guard. He sees Bodhi and other sheep entering the building. Inside the building, the sheep puts on their disguise of dogs and go out to guard the village. Bodhi was also about to leave, but Kampa stops him and tells him that he still hasn't mastered the secret technique, Mastiff Paw. Bodhi starts training with his dad, but he was not good at it. After trying hard, he accidentally scares some sheep. Kampa quickly takes action and calms them down. Then he looks at his son with great disappointment. Bodhi also feels bad, and to make up for his mistake, he goes out into the field to retrieve the disguise. But as he was about to approach it, some birds fly off with the disguise. While flying, the birds hits a plane that was passing by, and because of this accident, some luggage falls out of the plane. Bodhi runs towards the fallen luggage and soon he finds a radio in it. As he turns it on, he falls in love with rock and roll music. On the radio, Bodhi listens to an interview with Angus Scattergood, who is a famous rock and roll singer. Bodhi decides to retrieve an instrument, and after retrieving it, he converts it into a makeshift guitar. From that point onwards, he practices playing guitar while he listens to the interview. Now Bodhi decides to tell his dad about his dream and interest in music. So he meets Kampa and tells him that he wants to become a musician. Kampa doesn't agree with him and he tries snatching the guitar from Bodhi. But Bodhi runs to the room and sneaks out of the house through the window. The next day, Bodhi plays the guitar while passing through the town, and many sheep start to follow him after hearing the music. Kampa tells his friend Floyd, who is a barber, about all this. Floyd suggests that he should scare Bodhi so much that Bodhi would give up on music. In the night, Kampa takes Bodhi to the watch post and tells him to wait for him. After that, Kampa gathers some sheep and asks them to help him so that he can scare Bodhi. They all disguise themselves as wolves and go to the watch post. As Bodhi sees them, he gets scared and runs towards the town. While running through the town, he tells other sheep about this and they all start to panic. When Kampa reaches the town, he accidentally causes havoc as the sheep think that he is a wolf. The next morning, Kampa sits in a bar and Fleetwood joins him. Fleetwood advises Kampa to allow Bodhi to do what he wants to and gives him a bus ticket. On the other hand, Bodhi puts the guitar back where the other instruments were. Then he goes to the watch post to talk to Kampa. Here Kampa gives Bodhi the bus ticket. He also allows Bodhi to go to the city to follow his dreams, but Kampa says to Bodhi that he will give up on the dream if his journey fails. Bodhi happily agrees to this and he takes the bus ticket. He then bids his farewell to the sheep and Fleetwood. Fleetwood gives Bodhi his guitar and then Bodhi leaves the village. Meanwhile, Riff and Scars, two wolves, watch Bodhi as he leaves the village, and then they inform Linux, their leader, and the alpha male. Linux tells them to kidnap Bodhi, so they watch Bodhi as he gets on the bus. After Bodhi arrives in the city, he starts to ask for the rock and roll park, but the people ignore him. Soon Riff and Scars come there and they try to kidnap Bodhi, but they eventually fail. On the other side, Bodhi walks around the city and while crossing the road he gets hit by a small car. Soon he is surrounded by huge traffic and he starts to move through several vehicles and finally he arrives in front of a supermarket. Here, Bodhi hears the sound of music and he follows the music, which leads him to Rock and Roll Park, where he sees several bands performing. Bodhi sees Dharma and Germer, who are in an incomplete band, so he tries to join them, but Trey, the lead guitarist of the band, arrives there and behaves rudely toward Bodhi. He challenges Bodhi to a music battle and several animals form a circle around them. Here, Trey shows off his skills and Bodhi tries to keep up with him, but soon Bodhi eventually loses. Now, Trey refuses to let Bodhi join the band and Bodhi goes to retrieve his guitar from the tree that he accidentally threw while he was facing off against Trey. Bodhi sits on a bench with a sad face, but soon Dharma and Germa walk toward him. They start to talk with Bodhi, but soon Trey also comes there and he says to Bodhi that he can meet Angus. He tells Bodhi where he will be able to find Angus, and Bodhi quickly goes there. Trey also told him to kiss Angus' gate for good luck, and Bodhi does it. But to his surprise, he gets electrocuted by the door. Now Bodhi climbs the door after covering his hands. Meanwhile, Angus, who was suffering because of his writer, talks to his agent, who tells him to produce a song, otherwise his contract will be terminated. Bodhi somehow managed to make his way through a maze, which was full of robotic rats, who were pursuing him. Soon he makes his way to the front door, but he accidentally triggers a trap. Angus, who was playing music inside, hears the doorbell. Here Angus pretends to be a butler, and Bodhi asks him to be his music teacher. Angus agrees and instructs Bodhi to wipe his feet on the doormat before coming in. As Bodhi steps on the doormat, and he gets a slingshot out of the compound. On the other hand, Riff and Skaz call Linux and tell him that they were not able to catch Bodhi. Linux gets angry and orders them to search the whole city. He also gives them a deadline to find him. The next day, Angus wakes up and tries to write a song, but he was not able to do so. He soon hears Bodhi sing and goes outside to stop him as he was disturbing his peace. But as he goes out, the gate of the house closes and Angus gets electrocuted as he touches the gate. He then tries to call Oz, his robot butler, but Ozzy was watching television inside the house. Soon many people see Angus and they all begin to pursue him. Angus runs into Bodhi, and while running away they enter an alley where Bodhi pushes Angus into a dumpster so that they can hide from the crowd. After coming out of the dumpster, Angus asks Bodhi for some money to go back to his house. The body also doesn't have any money, so they both go to a rock and roll park to perform. Soon they get money and Bodhi gives that money to Angus. Meanwhile, Riff and Skaz see Bodhi, and they try to kidnap him once again. Soon Bodhi sees Dharma and Germa and he tells them that he was playing with Angus. On the other hand, Riff and Skaz accidentally kidnaps Angus, and they drive away without checking. Dharma and Germa were excited to meet Angus, so they follow Bodhi. But after coming to the place where Angus was supposed to be, they couldn't find him. On the other side, Riff and Skaz bring Angus to their hideout, where they find that they had kidnapped the wrong person. Linux scolds them and tells them to go find Bodhi. He also instructs them to set Agnes free. Riff and Skaz drop Angus at his house and drive away. On the way, they both get into an argument with each other and they end up getting into an accident. On the other side, Angus tries writing a song but is unable to do so. Soon, he gets a call from his agent. Angus asks for some more time, but the agent refuses to listen to him. Soon Angus hears Bodhi's voice. He realizes that Bodhi's song was quite catchy, so he opens the door and invites Bodhi inside his house. Angus agrees to be his teacher on the condition that Bodhi will sing songs for him. After seeing Angus's house from the inside, Bodhi says to Angus that his entire village will be able to live here. Sometime later, Bodhi gets into trouble. Riff and Skaz were going to kidnap him, so he starts to run. Soon he gets blocked by cars and Riff takes out his gun and shoots some tranquilizer shots at him. Although Bodhi was able to dodge a lot of them, he soon gets hit by one and faints. When he comes back to his senses, he sees Linux, who starts to interrogate Bodhi. Bodhi accidentally talks about the sheep army. Now Linux finally understands that the dog army around the village was fake. In reality, they were sheep in dog disguise. Linux starts to laugh and he tells the other wolves to get ready because they were about to attack the sheep village. After they leave, Bodhi's friends come there, and they save him. Soon Angus meets up with Bodhi and his friends. Bodhi tells him the whole situation and tells him that he needed to go back to the village. On the way, Angus gives a guitar to Bodhi, and here he realizes something. He was able to Gorm Mastiff Paw symbol while he was playing guitar. On the other side, Linux and the other wolves arrive at Snow Mountain and they were able to capture Compa and some sheep. Meanwhile, Fleetwood tries to hide with the rest of the village, but soon the wolves catch them. As they were preparing to roast the sheep, Bodhi arrives there and he tells the wolves to release the sheep. The wolves see him and they start to rush to attack Bodhi. Bodhi quickly climbs a ladder and tries push it down, but the wolves quickly puts the ladder back in its place, and they continue pursuing him. In all this commotion, Compa manages to free himself from the ropes and rushes to help his son. Bodhi moves on a line, but the wood that holds it breaks and he stands on the edge. Linux tells the wolves to cut the line. Compa sees this and instructs Bodhi to play the guitar. Bodhi begins playing and a force makes the wolves float. Linux tries running away, but Compa hits him with a massive paw and sends him flying. After winning the battle, Compa hugs Bodhi and the sheep celebrate as Fleetwood narrates how things around the village will get louder. That's all for today. If you liked this video, then please like, share, and comment. Press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Take care, and see you next time.